Hi everyone, this is Jenny Garcia with another December daily process video. This is day 4 and it's a story all about our Christmas tree. And I'm actually going to have two spreads for the Christmas tree and one that is just other things that happen on day 4. And I thought that it was one of the coolest stories in the book, so that is why it takes two spreads and lots of photos. I did started making something and then halfway through it I got rid of it. The only thing I'm going to keep that is on the desk right now is that pink. I'm going to mount the photo on that paper. The photos have a little bit of pink from the lights, and also my daughter was wearing pink pants, and out of the lights on the Christmas tree, pink is one that stands out the most. So I'm gonna look through the papers that I've made using elements from in a creative bubble and also figure craft, but I'm not gonna use them. I'm gonna start using them, but they're not gonna end up in this page. And I'm just looking for a little bit of pink and red and something where I can make like a small 6x8 layout using that photo. The rest of the photos are 3x4, and I'm not gonna do much to the left side because my first plan was to keep it simple with the layout, but I always have this plan of doing simple things and they never really turn out simple. But the left, it's pretty much gonna be the simple part of it. And I struggle through this layout a whole bunch more. That's what I like to finish this project in a sitting. The second I do another thing, I just get out of sync with the project. So that's what I really want to finish this project. That way I'm not confused like I am in this layout right now. And I thought about using those tree dies, and they're either from Paper Issues or from the Cut Shop by Ashley Horton. I'm not really sure. Or maybe it's a little bit of both. It could be a little bit of both. I love cutting my these sort of die cuts using white paper, and then I just put them all in one little box. And I was thinking about filling up that pattern, but again, it's not something that is going to make it to this layout. So, and I'm going to keep struggling through it. And then I thought I had the idea of putting many things on the right side to make a row either with the tickets and then with circles. And I got this, I don't know if you've seen the whole video, I posted it on Instagram. It's only like 3 or 4 minutes. I got this from Tuesday morning. My Tuesday morning has been like empty and sad lately, but I did found this organizer, which is so awesome. So I put a bunch of my December daily die cuts in there. It does not have all of them because I do have a lot, but I tried to divide them like the little flags, some gold elements. I'm gonna glue all of this, and then I'm gonna decide that no, that's not what I want to do. But I didn't completely broke. I just peeled off the circles and then reused them. You will see a few of those lately. And since I've been gluing stuff and getting confused and then regretting it, that's what I started with the Tombow Mono adhesive dots, because it is removable for, a few hours or minutes. That way, if I do change my mind, I can take that out. But that mat was one of the things that I knew for sure that we're gonna stay in that layout, because I did want to bring some pink into it. And after doing all of this, I decided that maybe I need to use papers from the Snow and Cocoa collection, which I bought the digital version, and I printed the papers and did a lot of print and cut with the elements. But it's not a collection. It's that I get to use a lot because it's pretty light and pastel-y, and I don't know, it doesn't work with every layout. So in this one I thought that it would work, and then for a second I thought about doing the things with the circle again, and then I decided that the circles would not really match the paper. So I was trying to see if one of the die cuts, if it would be a good idea to back it up with something. And at this point, after struggling with this so much, I just let it rest for a day and went and did normal, boring house stuff. But then I got an idea like at night. I was like, what if I do a shaker pocket? It's day 4 and no shaker pockets yet, which is a miracle. They always make it in the top 3. And I also have these little jars from the Snow and Cocoa collection that I got last year from Tuesday Morning, back when they had good stuff. And I figured there would be a great opportunity to use it. And then I thought about making a border, maybe punching, using punches to do a border. Then I started looking at the sequin mixes that I had, and that's when I decided to do the little pocket. And I used, this is tulle fabric, it comes in a roll. And if you've seen my handmade embellishments video, you'll see how I did it. I just used my sewing machine, and my sewing machine was also acting up, so the back stitching, it's a mess. The tension was all over the place, but I decided, you know what, I am not gonna sweat it, because A, I'm gonna cover these, and B, if I stay like fighting with the machine, I'm gonna get frustrated, and then I'm not gonna finish the layout yet again. So I'm using my bead scooper. I have a bunch of these items linked below if you're interested in getting them. I always get questions about this bead scooper. It's awesome. And I also have a video where I made these holiday sequin mixes. You can see how I made them, and even then I made those sequin mixes, then I mix them all up together. So I always do that. I'm just gonna fold everything behind. I'm gonna add washi just to cover some of the stitching, and that way I can use the Tombow extreme adhesive to cover it with the paper. I'm gonna put paper on the other side, and once I started stitching in the middle, it was a little bit more decent, so it looked a lot better. And I kind of want to move most of my sequins up, that way they don't really interfere with that little jar from Snow and Cocoa. The 4, I cut it with it was a vinyl that they were selling during the holidays at Target, either last year or the year before. And they got quite a few. They're pretty awesome. And they wanted to add a few stars inside this jar, and I think these are from Dollar Tree. You can get them like as confetti something, I think, or just plain confetti. They have them in black and silver too, and I did divide them in the smaller and bigger ones. That way it's just easier for me. And that vinyl has adhesive, but I always make sure, especially with some, when you're putting something on plastic, you can never like really fully trust it. Those stars are from Michaels, and they are awesome. I hope I can find them again in the future, because I already use almost half of my sheet. And I also want to leave some space because I'm going to punch some holes. I wish I thought about that strip that is from Citrus Twist. But, and I do have a few of those, but I don't know why they didn't come to mind. And I wish I also sewed or used the stapler to kind of block the sequence from going underneath the jar. These stickers, I also got them at my Tuesday morning haul. Good thing about that haul is that a bunch of things were, on top of being cheap, they were on clearance, so they were even cheaper. But I don't know, and I didn't get a second of those sheets because it comes with two, and I think thought about grabbing two because they were only $1.57. But then I was like, no, you don't want to get too much of something because then it will last a long time. And I wanted to add some stars around the photo, and I also have stars that I cut with that gold vinyl, but then I decided to use those from Michaels. And I'll move it up in a second, I just kind of forgot. And I just wanted the eye to like travel through the photo, so that's what it kind of does, like a triangle, visual triangle thing where I have elements on three sides of the photo. Because even though the sequin mix is really cool, I still want the photo to be the main protagonist. And here I'm just going to add a card. I have so many printed, and I'm glad that I have that pink version. I can't remember what color was the original, but I do love that I have that one. Now I'm going to work on the back of that little layout, and I'm going to make a pocket. I have a few photos of the Christmas tree and a few others with my daughter, and I also wanted to add some elements that came when I started making this tree. I did order a bunch of plushies that I could use on the Christmas tree, so I kept the little tags. I also got a banner from Target, so I wanted to add that to one of the tags too. And I of course wanted to journal. I had quite a few things to say. I think this is the second layout where I really talk about the tree, because I already talked about the ornaments and the star, so it's like it was a big story in my album. The first time we do a theme Christmas tree, it does take a lot of work and effort and planning, so that's why there are so many. Like I was watching the other day, looking at my one of my oldest number dailies about the first time I had my Harry Potter tree, and I had also a bunch of photos of some ornaments and things that we did, so it's always a big story. And I also had these gift tags, and I got them from Target. I can't remember if it was last year or the year before. I also have some of those tags, but there are candy, the mint candy circle. But of course, with this layout, I really gravitated toward the starts, and I'm looking for cards where I can journal. And I kind of wanted to reflect the papers and the photos. Both of the papers that I'm using for that page with the pockets are papers that I made using elements from In a Creative Bubble. And this part's gonna get a little bit messy. I don't know where was my brain. that day. But I love how it turned out. I love the little tags. I know that I think this is something that has been done by people who do December Daily in the Ali Edwards group to add a bunch of tags with different photos. Maybe Ali, I don't know, when I'm in the mood to watch December Daily videos or when I'm about to do it, I watch them all in a row and then my brain like mixes them makes a mix of all of them together in my brain and I can't tell which idea is from which person and I just end up with a bunch of different ideas, but and I do screenshot. Not I don't screenshot. I save in my on Instagram. I have like a little December daily folder, and I also have my Pinterest December daily board. And I always have like, oh, I'm gonna scrap lift this idea, and I never get to do it well. I'm terrible at scrap lifting, but I do like being inspired by some of the ideas I see. And that's the banner that I got from Target that says Feliz Navidad. I wanted to keep the tag because I'm pretty sure that in 10 years, Target will have a new either brand that is not Wonder Shop or Wonder Shop will change their logo or something like that. And it's always interesting to see. So, well, also interesting to see the prices. And that little tag, you can see the price of the banner, which was like $10. So maybe in the future it'll be like, wow, that's a lot for a banner, or that's very little. So that's other interesting stuff to look for. I was also watching Leilani's, I think it was her childhood video, her childhood album, and an album where she was showing things that she liked, and it made me realize how unintentionally I put a lot of these elements so my kids can have memories of stuff that they really like, but at the same time I'm very intentional. Like if they get one of those little blind bags and they get more than one, I'm like, hey, can I have that other one so I can put it in my December daily? And I think that I always enjoy doing that. And I'm pretty sure that in the future, or I'm hoping that in the future, they will appreciate it. Those stickers are from Feed Your Craft, both of those sheets. The one with the holiday vibes was from 2019, and the one with the Santa and the Yeti is from 2020. It's one of the kits that I always look for. I love the ideas of the Ali Edward teams, but my albums have like a lot of pink and a lot of kid stuff and stuff like that, so it doesn't quite work for me, the dark colors. I always gravitate towards really bright stuff. And the gift cards came with this gold and white twine, so I'm going to use this. I'm going to add the star, but I'm not going to add it in a way that is so rigid that you can move the star to see what's behind. It's kind of like a little bit loose, so you can like lift it or move it to the side or whatever you want. Oh, I also was fighting. Was it that day or no? I think it was before that day. I was fighting with the typewriter and the ribbon, so that's what I was like. I'm not fighting with more things like the sewing machine. I'm gonna make peace with the machines. They can take me later if they want to. And I'm just trying to layer a little bit with some washi, and those Pretty Little Studios scallop stickers became my best friends. And I also remember that I have the punch out and the die cut version, so, and they are different sizes, so it's perfect. And I tend to keep my Pretty Little, oh god, Pretty Little Studio stuff together. But the things that are my favorite items, like those little word stickers, I do keep them on my desk with my go-to December daily stuff and stickers. And I was starting to use some of my scraps from the pages that I worked on before, and then I remember that I have these circles, and then maybe I want to work some of those there too. I do love using my washi tape, so I always keep the patterns that I think that I will end up using the most in that little rhino. And Leilani sent me these photo corners, and I thought that they were perfect for adding them in one of these photos, and they're red. And she also sent me the tags in the kit that she sent me, and the first thing I did when I kind of pull apart the kit together was put those tags in my December daily card because I knew I was going to use them. If you haven't seen my December daily card, I think I have a video of the items that I'm going to use, and I also have one on Instagram. And I could have just put these photos in a tag and call it a day, but I like complicating my life. I also have to mention that I used the mono adhesive dots from Tombow around the pocket, but then I went through it with my sewing machine. I wanted to be a little bit sturdier, but I also didn't want to use a really strong glue because then the needle on my sewing machine was going to have a harder time. So if you are going to use any kind of stitching and you want to use also adhesive to keep it in place while you're stitching, I would recommend the mono adhesive dots rather than the mono adhesive plus, which is the one that I use to glue everything. And I did this thing where I didn't use my guillotine to cut the paper, and it ended up just fine, but it's still like drives me bananas. I don't like doing it. I'm kind of a perfectionist with things like that. And that tag is from In a Creative Bubble. And I just have some not screenshots, I have some close-ups of the tree, and you can see the Minecraft ornament that my daughter picked, and the Mario one that was picked by my oldest, and a few that they made, and the plushie of Boo, which is that little ghost that I hate when I play Mario and that thing, it's on the level. One of my least favorite enemies, but it's adorable. I'll give it to him. And yeah, again, it was such a cool tree that I really wanted to document more of the, close-ups and things like that. So don't feel guilty about milking the heck out of a story, because I had plenty of more stories. But still, I didn't do it to milk the story. I did it because I really love the Christmas tree. And the card that I am using to hold my December daily items, it's the one from Michaels. It's the Gramercy card, and the thing that it's about it that it's better than the IKEA one, which is the sturdiest, or the Amazon or the Walmart, because I have one of each. So I'm an expert at this point. What I like about the Gramercy is the extra places to hold a washi, to hold embellishment that has like a little pegboard. It's my favorite one just because of these items. And I also have extra little baskets that I got from IKEA that I can hang on the side of the card. And I would add some photos of the card in this video if it wasn't so long already. But I thought about splitting the first layout and the second one and making two videos, but it's the same story. And it's like a whole chapter that needs to be told together. So that's what I went for it. This red twine also sent by Leilani with that kit, and I like it because it's chunky too. So it's perfect. And these circles already had adhesive from where I put it down. So when I took it off the page, I just stuck it next to the little Antonio tray that I have that's plastic that is holding my cards and my stickers. I just put it on the side and I'm like, you know what? I will eventually use it, or at least make myself use it. And it worked out perfectly. I love these little stickers from Doodlebug. I didn't use them here, I don't think so, but they are pretty awesome. And again, I'm going to use the heck out of those stars and the little scallop stickers. And I want to order yet another one because I use a lot already. And I know that, and I'm on day 4, I know that by half of this album, I'm not going to have them anymore. But spoiler alert, Pretty Little Studio will be releasing another holiday collection. And I was asking Melissa, are you going to get some of those scallop stickers? Because then I'll wait and I'll get scallops from every collection. They're awesome. And I wanted to keep, these are 2 of the same tags. And I just kind of wanted to keep them together. So these worked out pretty well. But I also didn't want to like keep it plain. God forbid I don't put a million embellishments in paper before I put something down. But I think this one turned out pretty simple, at least this side. But of course, I had to add the little stars. And this was another of the circles that I had in stuck to the tray. I look at that. I lied. I put a bunch of stuff in it. But I do like it. I like to have lots of places to look at. And another little sticker because I needed more. It didn't have enough stuff. And yet another gift tag thing. And when I was done with the pages and I was flipping through them, like wait at the end to show you how it turned out, I was like, I could have put all of those tags in one little, technically mini album. And then I considered just taking it all the washi off and doing that, but I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna leave that idea for another day because I do like how they look, all different, all little on their own. And now here, I'm not gonna do anything. And then I'm just gonna punch some holes. That way I can put it. And this is another place where I could have used that Citrus Twist Kids extra attachment to add it to the album. But again, these are things that it's still very early in the album. It's still day 4. So I can use that idea later. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get those little tabs and put them around where I can see them. So next time I have a brilliant idea of just like punching holes in something, I can do that. And then I remember that the sequence were moving down. So I'm going to try to block it with the stapler. It didn't work that well, but it will hold off some of them. And I'm going to use the Mono Extreme adhesive because I am gluing on top of washi tape, of things that are, there's sew in thread and all that. So I don't want it to move. I don't want it to come off, peel off later. And I'm still working that little place in there where I can make sure that the sequence won't move. I use my We Are Memory Keepers hole punch. I also have the crocodile, but this one does have the standard hole punch size. I think it's 1/4 or something like that. I don't like that whenever I staple some, not staple, whenever I punch the holes in something, they kind of get stuck there, and I have to use my scissors to wiggle them. And here are the cards, and I wish I moved the stars. I did not think about that. But I do love all of these photos, and I'm glad I added them. I honestly, I know that I use a lot of photos. It may be too much, but for me, that's perfect. And that's the way it should be. Like, it works for me. It's my album. I would love to do simple stuff. I look at simple layouts all the time, but it's not something that works for me. You gotta do what makes you happy. That way, you enjoy the process and enjoy flipping through the album. And this is a very long video, so thank you if you're still there. This is the final flip through of these pages. I feel like I made more, but because I took that one completely off, kind of like took more time. But I did wanted to leave that just to show you that you can change it if you don't like it, even though it's mostly done, or maybe you like the other layout more. And I love the tags. I did it on a little angle, that way you can see a little bit more of them. And next video you're gonna see the other day of part 4. So if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe and click on the little bell, that way you get a notification when I upload that video. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and let me know. Have an awesome day, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.